G'day mates, Cake11 here and welcome to the 1998 Hungarian Grand Prix from the Hungaroring just outside of Budapest. I did say last year on the last race that this was one of my favourite tracks. I've had great success on here, but the 1997 edition may not have demonstrated that. If I recall correctly, I started from I think 16th on the grid. And I had an opportunity at the start typically to move up a few positions by collision with Damon Hill's arrow saw me relegated to pretty much the back of the grid. I managed to get home in about 20th place. Had an opportunity again to pass cars on the pit straight just before the finish line, but I went off the road, so I managed to hang on to 20th place. So it's not last place, I can save a bit of face, but still it wasn't a position I would have liked to be in. Hopefully I can get a better result today. Now in the real life, it was won by Michael Schumacher. Quite famously, actually, he started behind the both McLarens and went through the race behind them. So that would have been the end of his championship run straight up. But a hasty decision to change Schumacher's two-stop strategy to a three-stop strategy saw him power ahead of both McLarens to take the win. David Coulthard finishes second. And the third McLaren, he fell back quite a bit for shock absorber problems, which saw Jacques Villeneuve get a final podium position for Williams Mecachrome. So a very, very interesting and famous race. Apart from that, there was a on-track invasion, I think, from the end of the race. So organisers of the Grand Prix will find $1 million, which 3/4 of that was suspended. But since then, that suspension order has been elapsed, so they only had to pay a quarter of it, which is really good. Anyway, enough of that. Looking at our Drivers' Championship results now, Mika Häkkinen is still in the lead, only by just. Häkkinen's 7th place back in Austria, and me beating him in Germany sees me just 4 points behind Häkkinen. A win for me, and would see me either in the lead or drawing with Häkkinen if Häkkinen finishes second in this race. Following behind those two, David Coulthard is a fair distance behind on 21 points. 21 points behind Häkkinen, sorry. And then following behind him, we've got the two Ferraris, Michael Schumacher scoring 2 points in Germany, so he's up to 43. And Eddie Irvine further back again on 28 points. And rounding out the point scoring positions, we've got Untitled Chapter on 21 with a steady boost of 2 third places, so that's moved his point scoring quite up, almost catching up to Irvine. Then Gianna Lacey in the Sauber, Damon Hill in the Jordan. My teammate Giancarlo Fisichella still on 2 points after scoring 5th place in Austria. And then drawing for 10th place, we've got Ralf Schumacher and Jarno Trulli, both on 1 point. Now, in saying that, we are at the 5th last race of the season, so as far as championship contention is going, Häkkinen, 11, Coulthard, Michael Schumacher, Irvine, and Frentzen all have a mathematical chance of taking the World Championship. But looking at how everyone's going, it's steadily becoming a 2-horse race between myself and Mika Häkkinen. And now in the Constructors' Championship, McLaren are way in the lead on 111 points, just 40 points ahead of Ferrari. Mathematical calculations dictate that Ferrari and in turn Benetton Playlife have a chance of winning the World Championship. But considering Ferrari, Michael Schumacher and myself, Cake11, are the only ones scoring for our respective teams, McLaren should clinch the Constructors' Championship within the next few rounds. Those who are not in contention but are still scoring, Williams Mecachrome are still in 4th place on 21 points, just 8 points ahead of Sauber Petronas on 5th place. And then following behind them, we've got Jordan Munich Honda on 5 points and Prost still on 1 point. And now looking at the championship qualifying results, I started in pole, which is really good by 1.5 seconds. So this proves that Hungaroring is one of my favorite tracks, and I should perform quite well here today. Joining me on the front row of the grid is Mika Häkkinen, and in the second row, we got David Coulthard and Michael Schumacher. So 4 of the championship protagonists at this point. The top 2 are on the front row of the grid, as they should. So that should lay the foundations for a really interesting battle on our hands today. On the third row of the group, we got Jean Alesi, just narrowing roughly 0.2 of a second ahead of Untitled Chapter. And then rounding out the top 10, we've got Damon Hill. Really good result for the... no, wait, he's driving Jordan. Sorry, I'm thinking he's 97. Johnny Herbert in the second Sauber. And Giancarlo Fischer-Keller in the Benetton, rounding out the top 10. The following, looking down the grid, looks fine, and looks like your average motley crew of drivers. I don't know why, but that never changes. I think that's an only flaw I have to give to the qualifying mode on this game. Well, what can you do? The drivers have finished their practice lap, and now they're about to start the Hungarian Grand Prix, which is about now. As we pull away, the Benetton doesn't really go up to a good line, but there's a car on my right-hand side. Yes, one of the McLarens, I think it's Häkkinen, has gone through me as we come to corner 1 now. Goodness, I got to get my words correct. As I can see, we've got a McLaren in front of me. I think it's Coulthard, sorry. No, it was Mika Häkkinen. I could just see his helmets. Yes, Häkkinen, as Levin tried to get around the outside, but unsuccessfully. But Häkkinen leads the 1998 Hungarian Grand Prix, and I can only assume in second place. We got both Ferraris, Michael Schumacher and Eddie Irvine, but this is still a game yet. We come to corner number 6 and then 7. I come on really well behind Mika Häkkinen. That first sector I always excel really well at. As we finish that now, 39 seconds to the race, and I'm all over the gearbox of Mika Häkkinen. We come past the chicane, come into the SSL corners 10, 11, and 12. Still no change there. Mika Häkkinen has pulled a little bit of pace onto me, but he's slowing up. Got a little bit loose coming out corner 12. Now we're coming to corner 14 now. Still quite close. Now we're coming to the final 2 corners of the race. A hairpin left. Steadily going up the hill a little bit till a hairpin right. An easier hairpin. But that should lead us back onto the main straight now. As I come across the main straight now. Oh, I did a very good job not getting onto the dirt there. And after 1 lap, positions are this. Häkkinen, Levin, Michael Schumacher, Eddie Irvine, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, and David Coulthard. So Coulthard has fallen back quite a lot from his qualifying position, as I'm 2.7 seconds behind Häkkinen. And so we're settling into a very good race here. Häkkinen needs to win this race to hold down first place, because if I pass him, as it is now, I'm going to equal him in the championship standings, which would see me lead if I continue this good run up at the next race in Italy, which will be the location of my first Grand Prix win last year. But still, Häkkinen is still holding on to first place just fine, but I'm still trying to find the best opportunity to overtake him. It's going to be a little bit tricky, because the Hungaroring is not a track synonymous with overtaking maneuvers. I dived down straight into corner 15, tried to get Häkkinen on the outside, but no, he still gets the inside now. We come across the final corner now as we complete our second lap. I can picture the grid to be the same as the first. Don't look like the Ferraris have changed their result as well. That last 2 corners must have been very brutal on me, because Häkkinen has just pulled straight away on the pit straight. He's already 1.2 seconds ahead, so that's double of the time I was behind him coming into the third sector on the last lap. So, but looks like I've caught him quite well on these first 3 corners as I go loose coming out of corner 4. That has lost me a lot of time to Häkkinen, but thankfully I stay in second place. If I mess up on this, then Schumacher, I expect fact both drivers are going to be all over me, and I'm going to lose a potential championship lead, which I'll need to, because if I do this, it'll be Benetton's first Drivers' Championships and Michael Schumacher himself back in 1995. And although nobody was expecting myself and Benetton to go well this year, I think there'll be quite a few people out there that would like to see me win the World Championship. Oh, Mika Hakkinen comes out of corner 13 very, very slowly and just taps the rear of the car. Destabilizes me a bit, but still, positions have not changed. This has come into a big dogfight between myself and Mika Hakkinen. A bit wide coming out of corner 15, almost going to the pits. But approaching corner 16 with a little bit of tires on the grass. That's how I lost it on the final lap last year. But still, Mika Hakkinen pulls a bit of pace. This is probably the only section of the track where he can get pace. Other than that, the top 6 still looks all the same. But that's not where the attention is on this race. It is myself and Hakkinen as I catch up to him coming to corner 3. But still remain a Saints is behind him. Mika Hakkinen's coming slow, coming out of corner 4. Do I have an opportunity? No, I don't. Oh, now coming into corner 5s and 6. Oh, I'm going on the outside, coming out of corner 6. Now coming on the inside of corner 7. I've taken the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Finally, after 4 laps of racing, I am now in the lead. This is the perfect position for me. Now I just need to hold on from Mika Hakkinen, because although that I'm not too bad around most of the track as a technical, Hakkinen can catch up to me. So I better not make a mistake as we come into the final stages of this race. So coming to corner 12, now corner 13. Last lap I did get onto the dirt, not too bad this time. Now I'm coming to corner 14. Meant to be a slow corner, but I can actually get through it relatively quickly. And I don't hear a Mercedes engine behind me, so it looks like I've pulled quite a bit of pace onto him. I get the distinct impression that Hakkinen was holding me up. And that was too slow coming out of corner 16. I don't see Hakkinen behind me. Try to finish line to complete the penultimate lap of this race. Nothing has changed with the rest of the positions. I can only think what will be the case further down if qualifying positions have anything to go for. Looking at the initial qualifying results, Coulthard is the one that's been hurt the most. He started in 3rd position, but now he's lost 3 positions and now in 6th place. He's probably ahead of Jean Alesi, followed by, I can assume, Alesi, Damon Hill, and probably Jean-Carlo Fisichella. I can picture Johnny Herbert maybe falling a position or 2 down. But, yeah. Okay, coming to this easy left king to a tire right. We complete the 2nd sector right about now. I want to see how far I might head to Mika Hakkinen, because I can picture myself quite a distance. Unless it only does, yeah, it probably only does it for the when I cross the start-finish line. So I'm across corner 16 now. I'm taking that really, really tight, a bit slower than I would have liked. Across the finish line to start our final lap as I scored the fastest lap of the race. Looks like Hakkinen was slowing me down a lot. 1:12.809. I believe that's slightly quicker than... Yes, that is way quicker than my qualifying time by, I think, by a second. Half a second. So good job onto me. And based on those odds, it looks like I'm going to run away with the victory. So, a win at the Hungarian Grand Prix finally, considering that I didn't go as successful in 1997. I actually found it a little bit harder, and that shocked me. That the fact that I wasn't getting the pace as I would like. Maybe it has to do with the car, Stuart, but still, all the other times I've raced off on a variety of games in F1, I've had really good success. As a matter of fact, I played this on 2013, F1 2013, in a Williams, and got pole, but I finished, I think, middle of points. But even still, that just shows how I've always favoured the Hungaroring, and it's always been quite good to me as far as success goes. As I come across the final corner now, coming onto the pit straight to take an inevitable victory, which will be my 5th race of the win, 5th race win of the season. Count 11. I can assume Mika Hakkinen is behind me in 2nd place, and rounding out the podium is Michael Schumacher. So all that, a really, really good race. Really close battle between me and Mika Hakkinen. But once I passed him, I just pulled on the miles to show that I was probably the more superior driver on this track. So now looking at the results, yes, Levin has won his 5th race of the season, followed by Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher. Eddie Irvine is in 4th place, just 3 seconds behind Michael Schumacher. And rounding out the point scoring position, we've got Untitled Chapter and David Coulthard. So by the looks of things, they were having a close battle towards the end. And thinking about it at the back of my head, I am now drawn with Mika Häkkinen on race wins. So each race win is going to be important in both of our World Championship battles. So now looking at the Drivers' Championship standings, we are now, myself and Mika Häkkinen are now drawn for the World Championship on 72 races apiece, and both of us with 5 race wins each. So these next 4 races are going to be crucial to how this World Championship will turn out. Michael Schumacher is still in 3rd place on 47 points, just 25 points behind Levin and Häkkinen. So he's pretty much out of the World Championship battle unless he's able to win the next few races. So I'm not counting too much on Schumacher, nor to David Coulthard, who was just a single point behind Michael Schumacher. Actually, Michael Schumacher has regained 3rd place over Coulthard. Rounding out the point scoring positions, we've got Eddie Irvine in 5th place on 31 points and officially out of the World Championship battle. And then we got Heinz-Harald Frentzen on 23 points, so he's a bit adrift from Irvine. Then Jean Alesi on 13 points. Damon Hill still on 4 points. Giancarlo Fisichella still on 2. And then Ralf Schumacher and Jarno Trulli both still drawn 10th place, still on 1 point each. And in the Constructors' Championship, McLaren Mercedes have not won this race as far as points are concerned, but they are still on 118 points, so 40 points ahead of Ferrari, and in turn 44 points ahead of Benetton Playlife. So if McLaren Mercedes would get a good result at the next race in Belgium, sorry if I said Italy was the next race, I got Belgium to go to first, a good result in Belgium will see them clinch the Constructors' Championship there and then. Then, following behind those 3, we got Williams Mechachrome on 23 points, 95 points behind McLaren. Then Sauber Petronas on 13, Jordan on 5, and Prost still on 1 point. So there we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and proof that I can go really well on Hungary. And I can picture myself winning many more Hungarian Grand Prix to come. I hope you guys enjoyed this race, and I'll see you guys at the next round at Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium.